Today on the Chris Meadows Show, TDS is alive and well.
It's time for the Chris Meadows Show. Greensboro, Summerfield, Jamestown, Oak Ridge, Stokesdale, and all of Guilford County. Get ready. Chris Meadows is coming to you live right now.
Welcome back to the Chris Meadows Show. I'm glad you're able to join us today. We've taken a little bit of time off to enjoy the holidays. Hope you had a nice Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. And I hope you're staying safe in this bad weather across North Carolina. Anyway, we'll jump right into it. TDS is real, and it's going strong. As we see in Minnesota right now, um, we are seeing the extreme absurdity of the Democrats and the left. The attacks and violence from these not so peaceful protesters are the problem and not the solution. Ask yourself, what would you do if someone was yelling in your face, or spitting on you, or throwing bricks at you? These ICE agents have shown great restraint. The violent, paid protesters are lucky to still be alive, and the governor and the mayor are to blame for the current circumstances up there. The solution is very simple in these sanctuary cities and towns. Turn over the bad guys. Let ICE detain them and take them away. It's simple. It is that simple. Get rid of the criminal illegals, and you'll have a much safer city and state to live in. So, what else is going crazy in the U.S. right now and across the Western Hemisphere? How about Venezuela? Just a month or so ago, maybe a month and a half ago, the confused leftists were calling for no kings, and now they are seems they have dictator love, uh, and they are proving once again that they are the party of criminals over the victims, illegal immigrants over Americans, and craziness over common sense. Just a few weeks ago, I wrote a letter to the editor for the Greensboro News and Record, and you would have thought that I peed in everybody's Cheerios. It was unbelievable, the response from the left. They called me a liar. One lawyer from Oak Ridge here in Guilford County sent me an email and told me he hopes I rot in hell. Now, I didn't say anything untrue. I did mention TDS, which, for those that may not know that, is what that is Trump derangement syndrome. And they are just a confused group of people. And I noted in my letter to the editor that Venezuelans in the United States were celebrating in the streets because Maduro, a narco terrorist and dictator, was taken out of the country and is now in a jail cell. They said that wasn't true, that they were not celebrating. People actually said no one was celebrating that Maduro was taken away. Now, that's just, I hate to be rude, but that's just plain stupid. Um, all you had to do was turn on TV. All over the Western Hemisphere where Venezuelans have immigrated to, whether it be Miami or Los Angeles or places in Texas and other places in Florida, they were dancing and celebrating in the streets. People were dancing and celebrating in the streets of Venezuela. So I really don't know what they meant by I wasn't telling the truth regarding that. So people should pay attention to what's really happening and not listen to the crazy lefties that criticize you and call you a liar. Doesn't bother me in my role. I hear it all the time. But we're going to take a short break and we'll come back and we'll talk about a little bit here in Guilford County and around the state. and we'll see you in a minute.
You're listening to The Chris Meadows Show. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify at The Chris Meadows Show.
Welcome back. Glad you could rejoin us on The Chris Meadows Show. And a little bit about what's going on here in Guilford County with the elections coming up. Our early voting starts February 12th. The primary date is Tuesday, March 3rd. And I want to encourage everyone to get out and vote and be responsible about who you vote for. We got in the county commissioners, we got a primary and at large on the Democrat side. There's any one of those people get elected, and Guilford is in worse shape. We do have a Republican running at large, Tony Jacobelli, very smart guy, retired engineer. Everybody needs to vote for him. He's smarter than all three of the Democrat candidates combined, and he would be a great asset to Guilford County and the Board of Commissioners. We also have a sheriff's race. The primary on the Republican side, two highly qualified individuals. I don't think that we could lose electing either one of them. Both 1,000 times better than our current sheriff, who's a Democrat. And just so you know about our current sheriff, a lot of information has been hidden about him, and he has a criminal record that could be longer than some of the people that get arrested and are in the Guilford County jails. That's how bad he is. When he first came into office, he was elected in 2018, came in office early 2019, and he fired 30 people right off the bat. We cannot afford to lose our sheriff's deputies, but he let people go the first few days. So we cannot have him in office any longer. And there's not a Democrat primary, I don't believe. So I hope you get out and vote for a better sheriff. We cannot stand 4 more years of the worst sheriff in North Carolina, and maybe the worst sheriff Guilford County has ever had. As we move along, there's a primary in the U.S. Senate race. Um, the top candidates, they're all better than Roy Cooper, who will certainly be the nominee on the Democrat side. There's a few people running the primary, but they really don't have a chance. Roy Cooper has been a failure when he was the governor, two-term governor, and just some of his failures would include Western North Carolina in the response to Hurricane Helene. He was, in the last few months of his term, completely failed in his response to helping the residents of Western North Carolina that were affected by Hurricane Helene. And a few years ago, there was a hurricane that hit Eastern North Carolina and flooded a great deal of the eastern part of the state. And his response was horrible. There are still people years and years later that are still suffering in eastern North Carolina. And that hurricane hit, I forgot the name of it. I apologize. But he just, terrible response and very ineffective. And when he goes to Washington, if he wins, I tell you what, I can't think of a worse senator for North Carolina. So, Republicans out there and independents, let's come together on March 4th, Wednesday, March 4th. That's the day after the primary, and get behind the Republican nominee. We all have to unite, and we have to defeat Roy Cooper because we just cannot have him in Washington representing us. Um, we're going to take another quick break. This show is really going to be shorter than the last couple shows. Um, Just wanted to catch up on a couple things, but we'll see you in just a moment or two.
You're listening to The Chris Meadows Show. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify at The Chris Meadows Show.
Welcome back. This is the first episode of the new year, and as you are probably aware, things are a little crazy across the country. It's not too crazy here in North Carolina as far as the loons out there protesting with T.D.S. But I don't know if many of you have heard this new acronym, AWFUL, AWFUL, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. So I don't want people to get too offended, but there are some truths in this acronym. Okay, what happened?
Light went up.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, it's a cord dangling. Just hit the top button. All right.
All right, that's what we needed. And let's start that last segment over.
Okay. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the music. And as you are aware, if you're paying attention, 2026 is off to a little bit of a crazy start across the country with, again, all these folks with TDS and protesting, helping the criminals in some of these sanctuary cities. We're not really seeing that in North Carolina to any high level. But we're going to have a little bit of fun in this last segment of our first episode of 2026. If you've been on social media much, you may have seen a new acronym floating around. It's AWFUL, AWFUL. And what that stands for is Affluent White Female Urban Liberal. Some folks may say that they are the problem, they are not the solution. If you look at some of these protesters, uh, really all of them, filled with a whole lot of white liberal women. And you don't see too many Hispanics protesting to keep criminals in the United States. I don't know why these white liberal women want to keep rapists and murderers and sex offenders, child molesters in the United States. I don't understand. If you happen to know an awful, why don't you ask them? You'll notice again they are the protesters, and a few uh, out of work white men are out there. I, I don't understand. um, they were at the No Kings protests. They're the pro Maduro narco terrorist protesters. They are obviously bored and confused. Uh, these are also the demographic that are pro transgenderism, that can't define what a woman is, and will argue that men can have babies. Uh, their TDS is so bad they could use a trip to a therapist, like the ones with gender dysphoria. Anyway, I thought that was something we should touch on because it's all over social media. And if you know an awful, maybe you can try and reason with them, try and straighten them out, trying to make them less confused about what they're doing, and suggest they have another glass of wine. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. It was a short show, but we'll be back soon and we'll have a fun 2026. Thanks.